Now we're going to talk about 5 things that you must do before you put your house on the market. And we're going to go ahead and get started with number 1.
So number 1, you want to declutter and organize your home, and not only, well, we're going to get to, I'm jumping ahead, declutter and organize.
And why is that important? Well, the first thing is, a lot of people live a certain way, like us. Our house, we got stuff everywhere. Sometimes, Cindy does a real good job of cleaning the house, but sometimes, especially over the weekend or holidays, I'm kind of a messy guy, so she doesn't always have time to come and clean behind me. When you sell a house,
yes,
it's completely different than the way that you live in it. Now, when you're selling your house or you put your house on the market, now it is a product. Just like any product, it needs to be showcased. And that, like Cindy said, the first step is to declutter and organize.
So you live in a house one way, and when you sell it, you're going to, it's a product, it's a business. Now you have to get it ready, just like selling a car. When you sell a car.
Yeah, and why you said that, that's one of my things. I know when people go to sell a car that they don't want anymore, they'll take it to the car wash, they'll wash it, sometimes wax it. They'll get all of their stuff out of it, all their personal belongings, their CDs, whatever they have in there.
Restaurant wrappers.
And they'll vacuum it out real good before they take the photos and put the for sale sign in the windshield. I have seen people do that, but they don't do the same thing when it comes to their house, which is their most expensive asset that they'll probably ever sell in their lifetime. So decluttering and organizing is very crucial. I want to show you an example of a house that should have been decluttered and organized and wasn't. And I'll let these pictures roll through, and you can tell. And listen, these photos were taken. These people knew that either the photographer was coming, because they actually looked like good photos other than the junk in them. They knew that the photographer was coming, or they knew that the realtor that they hired to list their house was going to take photos. And I can't believe that they let them take these photos like this. And these are what the agent used in the marketing. This is what you call clutter and unorganization, not organized.
Yes, disorganization for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to show your house. You don't want to show your house. This is in the worst way that you could show a house. You don't want it like this. You basically want your house to look like a model home. If you've ever gone to a new construction community and you walk into the model home, this is not what it looks like. Imagine what a model home looks like. It is pristine. It is brand new. It is clean. It is staged. It looks like you want to live there. So that's what you want to do with your home. That's the light that you want to show it in.
Couple other things in these photos. This one especially right here. You see that deer head mounted on the wall, and that's definitely something that. Here's the deal. I get it. People hunt. People want to, put their trophies on the wall. That's fine as you're living there. But like I said, when you go to sell your house, now you're marketing a product. So deer heads, animal heads need to come off the wall. There's some other things too that you might not notice right off, but there are some fake plants in there. We don't want those in there either. So declutter, organize, make sure everything's put away nice and neat. And I'm assuming that when you go to sell your house, you want the most money that you can get from it. So that's why we're telling you too. I mean, if you don't want to get all the money that you can out of your house, then don't worry about doing these things. But we're doing this live video because we're assuming that, like most sellers, that's the main goal, is to get as much money as you can for your house. So that's the first step: declutter and organize.
With that, you want to remove all personal items from the home. All family photos, children's photos, anything that shows you on the wall. Take away all of those things. Toothbrushes out of the bathroom, razors, shampoo, all that stuff is personal. You're not going to see that in a model home at new construction. So you're going to remove all of the personalization. Get rid of that for now. This is only going to be while you're showing the property. So removing all of those as well, along with some other things. So let's go on to number 2. Number 2, you're going to do a deep clean. Cleaning your home is by far one of the best things that you can start by doing, because dirty house, people walk in, you're going to see dirt on the floor, dirt on the walls. It's just, if you can see dirt I've literally seen photos in the MLS where you can see dirt marks on the wall in the photos in the MLS. You don't want that, because people are going to be looking at that instead of the home, which is what you want to showcase.
I think it's a good idea, once you have decluttered and organized and got everything that's not important to you out of the house, not in the garage, not in the back bedroom, out of the house. I mean, you're moving anyway. Get rid of the stuff. Put it in storage. Like I said, I'm just assuming you want the most money for your house, but it might make sense too to have a professional cleaning person
for sure
come in and clean your house, deep clean it. Now, I've seen people who have cleaned their house top to bottom, and then I walk in with the photographer and you can actually see the dirt on the top of the baseboards all through the house. Or, like Cindy and I have a dog. We love this dog to death named Charlie. And when he goes around a corner or goes in and out of a room, his little body will scrape the door jamb or scrape the door. And what happens over time, it gets dirty. So that's what I'm talking about, deep cleaning. And you might even want to touch up the paint in that case when you're selling your home.
For sure. Obviously, so deep clean, does that explain everything? A deep clean, no dirt in the house, clean, and a fresh smell. You guys, smell.
Nothing will run a buyer out of your house quicker than a bad smell. And I don't care if it's animals, food, whatever. I mean,
cigarette smoke?
Yeah. Oh, cigarette smoke's the worst.
How do you get, so if your house, you got to get rid of odors. When people come to your house, we have pets, we cook in the house, so it's going to be there. Get rid of everything that you can that's going to get rid of the odors. If you have carpet in your house, vacuum it, have it professionally deep cleaned, everything that you can do to get rid of the odors, because as soon as a buyer walks into your home, no matter how clean it looks, if they walk in and it hits them in the face, it's a turn off. So why are we saying all this? I have worked with many buyers, probably many hundreds of buyers, walking up to the house, and when that door opens, you have about 3 seconds. What do they say? First impressions
they're everything.
First impressions is everything. So when that door opens and they step foot in, when they see what they see and they smell, immediately is going to have a huge effect on them. They're looking at things emotionally. They have an attraction to the house. They obviously want to be there because they've seen the pictures. So when they walk in and see what it looked like on the pictures, you want to keep their emotions as high as they were on the pictures. And actually, when they get there, they walk in, they want to have even a higher emotion. So when they walk in and their emotion stays high with what they see and what they smell, you don't want them to ever have that emotion start to go down by what they see and by what they smell. Because if you do, you can't get that back. They're done. They will literally turn around and walk away. I've seen it many times. Cigarette smoke, pet odor in the house, because what they think is, I'm never going to be able to get rid of this odor. And how much is this going to cost me? There's your negative right there. When it's going to start costing them, their negative emotion starts to go down, and you can't get that back. They will literally walk out the door and go to the next house. So first impressions is everything. You hear this about all kinds of things. Showing your house and trying to get the most for it is that important to keep their emotions high. So odors, get rid of them however you can.
Cindy spends a lot of time setting up showing appointments for her buyers, and she actually Cindy's not like a lot of agents that will just send tons of listings out there and let the buyer go, okay, we'll see this. She actually listens to what the buyer's looking for, what they want in a house, and she'll actually send them the best listings that she can find. it's very disappointing when she gets there and opens the door. Remember, we don't normally see these houses in person before we take the buyer in there. So it's very disappointing for her to have lined up all these great houses, or what she thinks is great houses, for her buyers, and then they don't want to walk past the front door because a smell hits them, or it's dirty, or things like that. So that's a very, very important thing. And again, we're only assuming that you want the most for your house when you sell it. If you don't worry about these things, because what will happen is, even in a strong seller's market like we are now, houses are selling real quick. I think there's like just under 2 months supply of inventory in the Jacksonville area. Even if you can convince them to make an offer on that house because inventory levels are so low, if it has some of these things that we're talking about, like smells, odors, it's dirty, it's cluttered and not organized, all it's going to do is they're going to make a lower offer. Because in their mind too, if they see all this stuff, smell this stuff, they also wonder, how well have you maintained this house since you've owned it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go on to number 3, repairs and maintenance.
This is a very key issue because I think, we meet with a lot of home sellers too. And I think almost every home seller that we've talked to about listing their house, they all seem to say, well, there's nothing wrong with my house.
Not my house, right?
Yeah. They say, well, I maintain my house. I fix things when they're broke, and I'm right on it. And I have very rarely seen or found that out to be true. Because the home inspection, when we get to the home inspection point, if we get to the home inspection point, will reveal something else. Those home inspectors' jobs are to find things wrong with that house, and they will. And a lot of times it's a surprise to the sellers. So what I would recommend first off is, again, we're assuming you want to get the most money for your home, right? Have a pre-listing home inspection. That way you can go ahead and fix all the little things, or have the major items fixed before you start showing it to buyers, and then they won't be a surprise issue at the wrong time, so to speak. Now, I know, here's what you can do too. If you don't want to pay for a pre-listing home inspection, go through your house get a clipboard and a piece of paper or something, and just go through, look at everything, and write down a list of what you can fix. I mean, you even want to check the electrical outlet covers, make sure that they're not loose. That's a common thing on inspection reports, and I know it's not a big thing. All you got to do is turn a screwdriver a few times, but you'd be amazed at how these little things add up, and then it looks like one big thing. So if you can fix all those little things, you'll be ahead of the game by a long shot. Now, as far as major repairs and things that you don't have time to do, or maybe you don't want to deal with, or you just don't have the funds, if that's the case, we have a company, a great company, that will actually do those repairs for you. They'll even make suggestions, and they'll actually come clean the house for you. They do all kinds of things when it comes to preparing your house for sale. And the best thing about this company is they'll do these things, and you do not have to pay them until the house closes, which is it's phenomenal what this company does. I mean, from pressure cleaning driveways to painting the house to fixing wood rot to replacing that whole air conditioner system. They can get it done for you, and they do it very timely, and it's professionally done. It's all licensed contractors, insured, and all that. You don't have to worry about it. And like I said, the best thing is you don't have to pay for it up front. You can wait till you close on that house.
So go through your house, and things that are noticeable, like leaky faucets, squeaky doors, broken tiles, and other noticeable things that you already know about the house, that all these little things, fix them, because you want the most for your money. You don't want, again, the emotions you want to keep at least level, if not going higher, when they're in your home. And I see buyers do this. They turn water on, and I don't know why they do this. They are testing your house.
They flush toilets.
It's crazy. Look, when you go to buy a car, what do you say? Can I test drive the car? They want to test drive your house. I think that's really what they are looking for. They are looking for reasons. I do this when we've bought homes in the past. I'm looking for reasons not to buy your house, not to buy the home.
Don't give them any.
It is just our nature to look for things not to buy. So don't give them a reason. Don't have a squeaky faucet. Don't have a squeaky door. Don't have a leaky faucet dripping as you walking in the kitchen is drip, drip, drip. Don't give them a reason not to buy your house. Okay, so just think of it that way. They're going to test drive your home. It's crazy they do this.
That brings me to that just jogged a memory.
Jogged a memory.
Cindy and I listed a really nice house down in Middleburg, Florida, a couple years ago, and we do videos on all of our listings. And I'm not talking about videos where we just put some pictures together and call it a video. We actually get in the video. Like, for instance, on this particular house, this was a multi-family house. I mean, it was a huge house. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so I said, Cindy, okay, we're going to start this video. I'm going to be out here on the steps outside the door. I want you to open the door and come out talking.
Yeah. What happened? Squeak!
There was no hiding it.
And
what the thing is I wouldn't try to hide it, no. But I mean, the homeowner wasn't home because we asked him to skedaddle so we can get the photography and the video and all that stuff. And we don't do the photography, by the way. Just a side note, we have a professional real estate photographer come in, but when he leaves, we do our video. We shoot our video, and of course, me with no WD-40, and that was a simple thing. Just some WD-40 in the hinges would solve that problem. But at the time, we had to do the video and try not to have that noise. So how many takes did we do to get that shot? It's funny to me.
Speaking of being at the door. Okay, so just say I'm walking up to the door we're walking up to a home with my buyers with me. We're walking up to the door. It takes an agent a minute or two, sometimes a little bit longer, to get the lockbox open, get the key out. Think about it. What are the buyers doing while the agent is at the door getting the key out? Okay, they are looking up. They're seeing what? Cobwebs, dirt daubers, cracked tile on the floor. They're starting to absorb negative things.
Exterior light fixtures hanging, and then it happens. This happens all the time.
I have literally, and then the agent tries to get in the door, and they can't get in the door. The doorknob is not working. I have literally opened the front door, and the doorknob
she did
fall off in my hand.
She did.
I'm not kidding.
I remember.
Right off. Let's start a list on what repairs are needed. Right. So it happens. Was the doorknob broken before I got there? Who knows? They've fallen off in my hand, or a screw fall out of the doorknob. It's crazy what happened. So the buyers are scrutinizing everything. So you need to scrutinize everything while you're looking around your home. Have your neighbor come over and go, hey, look at my house with different eyes and make a list. What do you think is wrong with my house? Just be honest, because buyers are going to see way more than you do when you're looking at it.
Yeah, I've walked up to very expensive houses that are on the market.
Yeah.
And the gutter downspout is disconnected from the gutter, and it's just hanging there. And that's the first thing that the buyer sees, because like she said, while I'm trying to get in the door, they're looking around at the outside. So
just little things like that I want you to be aware of. This is what happens when agents show houses. Okay.
And just remember, if you're in a position where you don't want to deal with the repairs, or you don't have the funds, don't worry. Reach out to us. We can put you in touch with the company that will take care of all that stuff. And like we said, you don't pay until closing.
Okay, let's move on. Number 4. Speaking of enhance curb appeal is number 4. Please don't forget the outside of your house. Curb appeal is extremely important. For example, when I show houses nowadays, used to many years ago that the buyers would be in my car with me, but nowadays they usually drive behind me in the car. I have driven up to houses, and they'll either text me from their car in the driveway, or they'll holler out the window, Cindy. Because if they see the yard is in disrepair, the shrubs haven't been, are overgrown. There's weeds everywhere. There's patches of dirt everywhere in the yard. Cindy, let's keep going. Go to the next one. I don't even want to go in, because their emotion that they thought they had on the house when they saw the pictures in the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, which is the pictures buyers see online. When they drive it to the house, they have a negative emotion. It goes down. They won't even go in the house. Cindy, let's just keep going. So enhance your curb appeal.
She's bringing up landscaping. And, it's one thing, too. A lot of home sellers, maybe not in this market where homes are selling in 30 days or so, but, over the 22 years that we've been in the business together, we've seen different markets where it's taking, 3 months, 4 months on average for a house to sell. So when the homeowner actually first put the home on the market, their landscaping and everything might have been redone. They did a really good job, but then they don't keep up with it. And what happens is now you've got weeds growing in the flower beds. Maybe the grass has not been edged.
Yeah.
And you got grass coming over the
driveway.
I can't even think.
That's okay.
So
between both
that's
of us,
the other thing too. You've got to
Right.
keep up with this stuff during the term of the listing, because every showing is a potential sale, and you want to impress every buyer as much as you can. And like I said, we have a company that will actually do the landscaping as well. Now, they're not going to come out there and pull weeds and then you pay them at closing. But if you need some serious landscaping, like some new bushes put in, or new mulch put in, or things like that, pressure washing the driveway, they will do these things for you, and you don't pay until closing. So, very important.
In the long run, the little bit of time and effort, energy, and a little bit of money that you're going to put into these things, you are going to gain back in the end. You are competing with all these other listings out there, and you are competing with, if you live in your home and you have now what we call a resale, you are competing with new construction homes. If you have never been to a model home at a new construction site and you are thinking of selling your home, go visit one. See what it is.
That's an awesome idea.
See how it feels when you walk into a model home. Emulate that in your home. It is clean. It is staged. The landscaping is pristine. There's no personal items out like toothbrushes, shampoo, razors, and washcloths and things like that. Now it's got fresh everything. Nice towels, nice washcloths, nice everything fresh and appealing. I have had buyers walk into the model home and they say, "Can I buy this house
with the furniture?
With this furniture in it?" Because they are attracted to it. Their emotions makes them feel like it is a comfortable home that they want to live in, and they want the furniture. So go visit a new construction home, a model home, see how that feels to you, and emulate that in your home.
Well, that leads us to the next and final thing that you need to do.
Number 5.
Have we got comments over there?
I'm looking. Not yet. But if you have comments, questions, please type them in, and we will answer those for you.
And if you're not watching live, and we get it, this is our first live in a few years. So if you're watching this in the replay, drop your questions in the comment section. We're happy to help you. So leading into that, the next thing is you've got to look at or consider staging your house.
Number 5 is staging your home.
Now, Cindy's got statistics for staging. So why do you want to stage your home? It's just like she said. If you go to visit a model home, they're all staged. And the reason that builders do that is because they know that's the key to selling their product. That's their showcase. Their model homes are the showcase. As a matter of fact, some newer neighborhoods that they're building in, they have what's called a model home row, where they have 4 or 5 model homes that buyers can walk in one, walk out the door, walk in another, and every one of those is set up to sell that home. Could you imagine if a new builder didn't have any model homes and they just had to impress upon people how nice their houses are without having a model home? And what they do is they stage them to the hilt. All the bells and whistles are in there. In reality, the buyer doesn't get all those things unless they pay extra for them, but that's what sells the house. It's emotion. It's an emotional trigger. So think about staging your house. If it's vacant, you need to have it professionally staged by, I'm not talking about a decorator.
No.
A decorator's purpose is to decorate your house for the way you live in it. A stager, professional stager, stages your house for the potential buyer. Do you see the difference? So why don't you go ahead and give them some statistics
Okay.
about staging?
So the value in staging. Here's some of the RISA.
While you do that, I'm going to show
Okay.
some photos of a staged home.
Oh yes. Okay. So RESA, R-E-S-A, is the Real Estate Staging Association. They say that with having a staged home, you're going to save 72% days on market. So they're basically comparing these beautiful photos of a home that is staged. You're going to, if that compared to a vacant home, an empty home,
or a home that's not staged,
right?
Or like, I'm sorry, I jumped in there, but comparing it to a home that's lived in and not professionally staged,
Right.
Your house is going to sell 72% faster.
Right, 72% days on. You're going to save 72% days on market, which means you're going to sell it way, way faster because buyers are emotionally attached to your home and they are going to want your home now instead of later. NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, says you're going to get 10 to 15% higher offers. I'm sure as soon as we said staging, you saw dollar signs and you said, "Oh my gosh, I'm not going to pay for stage. That's got to be really expensive." Well, here's the thing. You are going to get that money back multiple times over. In fact, you're going to get 10 to 15% higher offers. You're going to get the money back and a lot more. Home Gain says you're going to get 570% ROI, meaning return on investment, which means you're going to get your money back multiple times over by having a staged home over not staging your home. And a lot of people say, "Hey, well, here's what we'll do. You know what? Let's try it. I have an empty home, meaning there's no furniture in it. It's vacant. There's no one living there. There's no furniture in it whatsoever. Let's just try it out first and see if it sells." You're going to waste time. You're going to get less offers because here's the point.
And you're going to have carrying costs too. The longer it takes to sell, the more money you're putting out.
Taxes, electric bills, all kinds of things.
Mortgage payment, insurance, maintenance.
I have been with buyers at the home, like I said, a few hundred times. When a couple walks in, say a man and a wife, walk to the front door, okay? And I said that door opens. You've got about 3 seconds. Their emotion is going to go. They come in and they think it's about here. It's either going to go up or down. If the wife, right, don't the women choose the home, basically. The man can say, "I can live anywhere." A man can live in the garage, really. When I see these couples walk in and their emotions go up at the door, guess what she does? Bam. "I want this house." What happens? The price just went up.
That's a fact.
Honey, I want this house.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
So they're going to make a strong offer, and they want to stay in the offer. So they're going to make the highest price. If their emotion stays with that house and they go to write the offer, they're going to make a stronger offer. They're going to stay in it after inspections. That's why you want to have the repairs and maintenance done as much as possible, because you don't want there to be $50,000 worth of damage and then you as the seller say, "I don't have the money for that. I'm not repairing the roof. I'm not replacing the roof. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." So then what happens is they get disappointed and they go down and they'll back out of the deal.
So what we're trying to impart on you here is staging is well worth the money.
Yes.
We have seen it. We've actually listed homes that were previously listed with other agents, and we demonstrated the value to the seller of what staging would do, and they did it. And we actually would list the house for the same amount and sell it, or list it for more and sell it when it didn't sell before because it was just a vacant house. Now, if you're in your house and you're living in it, they're not going to bring in a whole house full of furniture, swap it out. So they can actually come in and they'll do a walk and talk with you and tell you what you need to remove from your house, what they can do, how you can rearrange the furniture, so they can, in a lot of cases, they can come in and they can utilize your furniture and make the space look like it is. Now, here's another thing too. While we're at it, if you don't want to do staging, that's fine. I get it. But if you have a bedroom, for instance, that's set up as a exercise room, guess what? You need to take that exercise equipment out of there and set it up as a bedroom. You want every room to be furnished for its purpose, like a dining room. If you've got your dining room table and chairs out and you have a desk in there because you work there, you need to switch it around. You need to have a dining room table in that dining room, and so on. Another thing Cindy doesn't like, and she'll tell you, is tablecloths.
Oh! Okay, tablecloths. Do not use a tablecloth on a table, ever. Okay, so I've walked we've walked in the day of photos, and I'll see a tablecloth on the table, and the seller will say, "Oh, Cindy, what do I need to do? Is it looking?" I'm like, let's go ahead and take that tablecloth. Oh, but the table's horrible. I don't care. I don't care how bad the table is, how banged up, beat up, scuffed up, the paint's falling off of it. I don't care. Tablecloth, because
get the tablecloth out of there.
When buyers walk into a room, they immediately, their eyes are drawn to the tablecloth. It's a weird thing. It's like their eyes are drawn to the tablecloth, and now they don't see the room and the space and how they can put their furniture in it. Don't use a tablecloth. One thing about staging, what we always say is, and because I know what you thought, you saw the dollar signs, staging's expensive. Staging costs less than your first price. Not only your first price reduction, staging costs less than any price reduction.
That's a fact,
right?
So what she's saying is if you haven't prepared your house properly and you don't have it staged, you're concerned. Well, I don't want to stage it because it's going to cost me X amount of dollars, but then it sits on the market for 30 days and it hadn't sold, and then what do? You got to reduce the price. If you'd had it staged, you probably would have had it sold. And we're not saying this. We don't own a staging company.
No.
We don't get any money if you stage your home. We don't get any kind of kickback from the staging company. So it really only benefits you to have it done. And like I said, you can just have a staging consultation if you're living in your house, and they'll help you rearrange your furniture to suit to gear it towards, or to make it appeal to the potential buyer that could be buying that house. So we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you saw some value in it, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. It really doesn't do anything but for you, but it helps us a lot, and we really appreciate it. And by the way, like I said, we were assuming, like all sellers, that you wanted the most money you could get for your house. And I know this sounds like a lot, and it can be. There are some people out there that just don't want to be bothered with it. They don't want to be bothered with showings. They don't want to be bothered with cleaning. They don't want to stage. They don't want anything to do with any of that. They don't want to deal with repairs. We got a company too. We've got an investor that will make you a cash offer. Yes. All you got to do is reach out to us, and we can start the ball rolling. We can just give you a cash offer. You don't have to accept it. We've got some things that you can do too. We can lock you into that offer for a certain amount of time. You can sell it to the investor and then rent the house back for a year if you like, so you could take your time finding a new house. There's all kinds of things that you can do with our investor, and it gets you out of there, and you won't have to do all this stuff. You won't get the most money, but sometimes people would rather have the convenience than the money. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you.
So it just gives you another option. The other thing is if you live, obviously we are in Northeast Florida. But if you are here in Northeast Florida, we'd be happy to help you, whether you're looking to buy a house or sell a house. We'd be happy to help you. But what we can also do is, no matter where you are in the country, we have excellent agents that we can refer to you. So just reach out to us and we can refer them to you in your area that have expertise and knowledge about your area, and we'd be happy to refer those to you.
Sure. So we hope you had, like I said, I hope you got some value out of this video. And if you did, please click the like button. And we're going to make sure that we try and do this, or not try.
We're going to.
Let me tell you, Cindy will not let me get away from skipping this again. So every Thursday at 3 o'clock, we'll be right back here for another live. If you would like to have a certain topic discussed in our live, drop that in the comment section below too, and we'll make sure that we get to that. I'm Mike Jones. This is Cindy Jones, and we are Northeast Florida Realtors. Thanks for watching.
See you next Thursday at 3. Bye-bye.